Merry meet, my magical family. I'm so glad to have you here today, and I'm glad to be back. I had some work to do. That's right. The last time, I think my video was on Goddess Hekate, working with Goddess Hekate. Can you remember that? I got some news to tell you. But first, before we get started, I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel called A Witch's Life. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support sincerely. Thank you. And before I go any further, should I go ahead and tell you the good news? No, I'm not gonna. You'll have to wait for that. You'll have to see what's coming up. But I do want to say, today, I am going to show you how to make an incense to have clearer visions, okay? Because if you're like me, I do have visions, but I'd like to have them more frequently, and I'd like for them to be more explanative, okay? I want them to be clearer, I guess you could say. So we're going to be using rosemary. We're going to be using lemon melissa, mugwort, lemongrass, of course, bay leaves, and cinnamon for this mixture. Now, what you could do is also make an oil as well, so that before you get ready to meditate, or just any time of the day whenever you feel like it, but especially before you get ready to meditate, you can anoint your third eye, okay? I've been working a lot with my third eye lately, and it seems to have really helped, okay? I would like to recommend that you do this, because when you work with your third eye, and when you work with the goddess, or the god if you prefer, I also worked with my guardian angels, the angels and the archangels, and we got the job done. We're still not finished with everything that I have in mind, but this is the very beginning. I'm telling you, this is powerful. This is something that is nothing short of a miracle. It's magic. It's the goddess. It's my own power mixed in there with the goddess and with the angels. So what I want to do right now with you is to light this candle of thanks to Goddess Hekate and to my guardian angels, the angels and the archangels, and also to my husband Henry, because the Goddess Hekate and the angels, the archangels, and my guardian angels used Henry as a conduit to get this ball rolling. Oh, this is so amazing. It's so big, and I'm just totally enthralled, and I hope that you will be enthralled and happy for me too. So I now light this candle for Goddess Hekate, for my guardian angels, the archangels, and for my husband Henry, and for myself as well. Thank you so sincerely. Thank you so sincerely. I am so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm happy. I feel good. I feel powerful. Thank you. All right, my lovelies. As you can see here, I've got 2 containers, okay? Now, usually I would use this for oil, okay? Because it has a really nice stopper with a rubber lid to it so that the oil will stay in there and not come out, okay? And like I said, you are welcome to make the oil for this. Oh, looks like the stopper's coming out. Have to work on that. Luckily, I'm not using that one for oil today. I am using it for the loose incense that we're going to make. So as I was saying, you can go ahead and make the oil. I've already made the oil, so I don't need to. You just add all of this ingredients into the oil in the container that you wish to use, and you shake it up. And then you take it, you put your hands, or I'll just use this one, you put your hands around it, or what you can do is you can hold it in your power hand and put your receiving hand on your chest for your heart chakra or on your 3rd eye. And then you can go ahead and imbue it with the powers that you need, with an incantation that you need to help you to see clearer, to have the clearer visions that you so desire. And if you're not having visions yet, I would recommend to you that you meditate. I know most people do not like that word, but the thing is that when you start off with a small meditation, and what I mean by that is just clearing your mind of anything, thinking of your most favorite color, okay? Or thinking of a color that is very, very powerful for you. And a color that's very powerful for me is black. That's why you see me wearing black quite often. Also, purple. I think those 2 colors are absolutely powerful. Also, the color gray here. This candle is gray. Don't know if you can see it or not. It's gray. So, when you're meditating, get into a quiet spot if you can. If you can't get into a quiet spot, that's going to be a bigger challenge, but you can do it. You don't have to sit with your legs crossed. You can sit just like this if you want, with your hands up. Or you can hold them like this if you desire. It just depends on what you want. If you want to hold them like this, that's fine. Or like this. It doesn't matter. I just think that the best thing is not to lie down. Because when you lie down, you run the risk of falling asleep really quick. At least I do, okay? So, right. You sit there and you breathe in deeply, slowly, okay? And you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth slowly. I would say to a count of 5, okay? And I would do this maybe 5 times, all right? And then, because I've noticed, wait, before I say that, I want to say, and then you lift your eyes up to here. I know this looks funny, but up to here, okay? But you close your eyes while they're still lifted up to here. And that is automatically gonna make you take in a deep breath. At least it does for me, okay? Now, once you have done that, you sit quietly thinking of that color. Like for me, this time I would use the color black, okay? I would focus on the color black. So I've got my eyes up to here. I've taken my deep breaths. I'm sitting quietly with my hands in my lap, like so, but down below. And I'm concentrating on seeing only this color black with nothing else in it, okay? And if any images should start to come into your head, just let them drift by, okay? You don't have to acknowledge them if you don't want to, but if you do want to, you can acknowledge them. That's fine, okay? And just do that when you're starting out, maybe for 1 minute. You might even set a timer. That helped me when I first started out. and then slowly graduate up to 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and so on and so forth, till you get to the point where after you've done it for so many years, you can sit in silent meditation for a half an hour or more, okay? It just really depends on how much you're going to work with that, okay? Because the power is definitely within you, all right? Now, when you've done that a few times, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 times, if you have not had visions, you will start having visions, perhaps whilst you're meditating, or right between that time when you are sleeping and waking up. Okay, there's that little time frame in there that you will see a vision. That's mainly when I see my visions. But when it's something that is like an emergency for me, I will see them at any time. It's like a flash. And then I stop whatever I'm doing if I can, okay, if it's safe for me to. And then I will concentrate on what I've just seen and meditate on it as well, okay? So that's the advice that I'm giving to you if you would like to have visions but have not had visions yet, okay? And this, what we are making here today, is going to really help to enhance those visions. I'm going to go ahead and burn some of that after I've made them, but I'm going to set this on fire first. I love doing this. This is so cool. I love how it just crackles and sparkles. And yeah, it is magic. It really, really is. It's so witchy and magical. And you know what? I don't mind admitting that I like stuff like that, because I do. I really do. It's all a part of the aesthetic that helps me to strengthen my bond with my ancestors and with my witchcraft. And it's okay if you really enjoy the aesthetics of it all. It's not necessary, but I can tell you from experience, from over 20 years of experience, it's not necessary, but it sure is helpful and makes you feel like a bad witch. So we've got this lit. I'm going to set this here for now, okay? I'm going to set this over here because we're not using it. I'm going to go ahead and light some sage, because for me, it's part of the aesthetic. It helps to get me in the mood, and it helps to get rid of the astral nasties that might be lurking around you or in you or on you, okay? This is a really, really important part of witchcraft. So, here we go. Here we go. Yes, yes, yes. And for you also. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Cleanse, cleanse. Peace be upon all who are watching this video. Blessings be bestowed upon all who need them at this time. Cleanse away all negativity. And that shall smoke itself out. Now we shall go to our pestle and mortar here. And I will repeat this for you one more time. I'm using, if you would like to get out your book of shadows or your book of knowledge, your journal, a notepad or anything to write on, I am using today rosemary, lemon melissa, mugwort, lemongrass, bay leaves, and cinnamon. Okay. I also have here a funnel so that I can get it in here properly. If you don't have that, just take a piece of paper and roll it up. It's no big deal. And here we go. I'm going to start first with my rosemary. I'm going to just break some of that off into here. Now, I think I've mentioned this before. I don't make large quantities because I like to make my quantities or my batches fresh and whenever I can. So this is going to last me maybe, I would say, about 3 weeks. Okay. I love to use the number 3 when I'm doing my witchcrafting because the number 3, which happens to be my birth date, January 3rd, 1966. Yes, I said it. And double sixes being a part of the number 3, or I should say 3 being a part of the double sixes. Okay, 1966. I love to use this because it is very, very, very powerful. And this rosemary, and do I have enough now? I think, wait a second. Give me just a second here. I'm going to put a little bit more in here. Oh, you guys, I am so excited about the news that I have to tell you. I almost want to tell you right now what it is. Should I go ahead and say? What do you think? Should I say it? No? Okay. Okay. Oh, you guys, I am so happy. But anyway, let me concentrate on what I'm doing here. I want to make sure that I show you this right. I don't use these big sticks for in here, but you can use them to burn and to cleanse your space as well. This is just the main stick that the rosemary came on, okay? I'm just going to stick this back in here, actually. Good, good. So, let's put that over here. Now I'm going to use some lemongrass. Wait a minute, I need to put this back in here. There's another stick. Some lemongrass as well. We all know that lemongrass is also very, or I'm sorry, lemon melissa. It's very soothing, okay? It can be soothing, it can be uplifting. That's one of the magical qualities that I love about lemongrass. Because, I keep saying lemongrass, I'm getting to that, my gosh. But lemon melissa, it can be very, very soothing. It can be very uplifting. It is dual purpose in everything that you need it for. So I'm putting a good amount of lemon melissa in here. All right, now I'm getting to this lemongrass because I need to put this in here. Oh, that smells good. I'm putting quite a bit in here because it is a very psychic, magical herb. Kräuter if you're German. So, got that in here. And yes, I am making a mess. But you know what? That's okay because today I am so happy about the news. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, you guys. Oh. All right. Let's get some mugwort in here. Very, very pungent smell. Mugwort is very good for lucid dreaming. Yes. It's very good for enhancing your visions. Okay, now I'm going to take some bay leaves because bay leaves they can be kind of like a very psychic herbal ingredient, herbal Kräuter ingredient if you're German. And a lot of people will write their desires on bay leaves and burn them and send them out. And if you would like, when you're using this in your mixture, you can write on the bay leaf what it is that you would like before you tear it up, as I am, to grind into the loose incense that we are making. I, however, don't really need to do that, so I won't do it. The next thing we're going to put is cinnamon, but what I'm going to do is grind this first. Now, if I was doing this whilst not filming, oh, excuse me, hot. If I was doing this whilst not filming, then whilst I grind this, I would be imbuing my intention into this. Okay, and I always, you don't have to, but I do. I always work with the angels. I always call them my angel crew, because I've got my guardian angels, I've got the regular angels, and I've got the archangels that I work with. I know that there are more angels than that. I believe there are 9 more choirs of angels than that. However, these are the 3 that I have worked with for the last, what I would say, 17 years. Okay, and they have not let me down. And I've got their protection. They've got my back. And they let me know what it is that I need to do next. They guide me. And even during the times when I feel like, oh God, I feel so alone, I'm not alone. They are there, and they'll always do something to make sure that I know that they are with me. Okay? So we are grinding this up. Here we go. Sorry. Oh, stuff is jumping out. Some powerful stuff. Oh my God. Oh, you guys. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'll stop. So I am going to let that be for now. And I shall go ahead and put my cinnamon in here. Oh, yes, this stuff. This lifts you up or rises you up to another spiritual level altogether, this cinnamon. It's really good for spiritual workings, for vision questing, for visualizing, for seeing clearer. It is absolutely amazing, this stuff. It's just, you know, when you burn it, it really, number one, it clears your area of all of the negative vibes. Cinnamon alone, when you burn it, just clears all of the negativity out. And at the same time, it raises you up to a higher spiritual level, a higher spiritual connection with those that you're working with of the unseen. Okay? I'm just going to say with the unseen, because we all work with different entities. And yes, entities can be good, I should say positive, or they can be negative as well. They can be evil. Okay? But just to let you know, I do not work with negative entities. That's just not my thing. It's not my world. So, But I'm just letting you know, because a lot of people say that, oh, the word entity means evil and negative. Well, not necessarily. I'm not coming down on anyone, but I am telling you what I know, okay? So if you don't like the word entity, you don't have to use it. So I'm gonna crunch this a little bit more in here, try to make it a little bit smaller. And our charcoal block is almost ready, so it's going really well. Okay, you guys. Oh gosh, I'm just, oh. All right, you guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all, I did the ritual working with Goddess Hekate. I extended that ritual when I wasn't filming. I went into deep meditation, not just once or twice, but many times. Working with Goddess Hekate, working with my guardian angels, the archangels, explaining to them that this is a very deep desire of my heart, not to mention the other desire, the other two desires that are in my heart, my soul, okay? And these three desires, it's what I asked for specifically to come to fruition. And I had no idea how it was going to happen. This first one that has come to fruition, I had absolutely no idea how it would happen because it seemed so impossible that it would happen. But I'm here to tell you, Goddess Hekate and my angel crew heard me. And with all of the work that I've been doing for other people, all of the donations that I've been making, and all of the help that I've freely given to others, they saw fit to answer me in a way that has made me so incredibly happy. They have humbled me so deeply with their attention and their help. And like I said, I didn't know how it would happen, okay? But through my husband Henry, they used him as a conduit to make this miracle, this magic, this miracle come about. And I am happy to say to you, wait a minute, let me put a little bit of this on here first, and then I'll go ahead and tell you. Okay, here we go. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Visions, visions. 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 Yes. Like I said, I didn't know how it would happen. It's just that I believed in my heart, in my soul, that it would happen, and I saw it as having happened already. I saw it. And you guys, it did happen. It did happen. They used my Henry, my husband, as a conduit to bring this about, to bring about me getting my old YouTube channel back. And that YouTube channel now has over 602 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at this smoke coming directly to me. Look at this. And that's not all. They used him to help me to get my Instagram back, which has over 5,000 followers. So, yes, I am here to tell you that the goddess is alive and magic is afoot. Magic is happening everywhere. You just have to really believe it. You've got to know it. You've got to know it. You've got to know when you ask for something, okay? When you ask them for something, you have got to know within your heart, within your soul, that it has happened already. And you need to ask them to help you, to guide you, to show you how to pull it in from that other dimension into this physical realm, this physical dimension where you are. And when you learn to do this, you will become very powerful within your own right. Okay? When you take all of the steps that are necessary, when you do your meditation, when you do your thank yous to those who work with you, whether they be human or from the side that is unseen. When you take all of these necessary steps, it will begin to show. You will begin to see that which you already know you have. Okay? So, I know it sounds difficult in some ways, but when you really take the time to sit down with pen and paper and write down these things, and then go over them and really ruminate on them, you'll see it's not as difficult as you think. The only thing that is really difficult for some people is to actually take the time and do it. Okay, a lot of people procrastinate. I'm one of them. However, I finally took the step to stop the procrastination and to take the time to really sit down, organize my thoughts, ruminate on what it is that I know that I have, meditate on what it is that I know that I have already, and ask for the help that I need to bring it from that dimension into this physical dimension where I am. Okay? So, I just want to say thank you for being here and allowing me to share this wonderful, wonderful news with you. And Henry, I know you're watching, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so sincerely, my Henry. I love you. You guys, okay, that's what I have for you today. And if you will start watching my old channel again, witchcraftandmore.com. I will put it down in the comment section there, where you can see where to go to get my videos. I'll also put it on Facebook and Instagram and on my website, my blog, so that you'll know where to find me. Because the other channel that I have, Witchcraft and More, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one anymore now that I have my old channel back, you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. So I am sending to you the brightest of magical blessings, happiness, protection. I'm sending you protection and peace and all that you need to fill your life with that you know you already have. So, merry part until we merry meet again. I'm Lady Silver Sage, and thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you the next time. If you have not subscribed to my channel called witchcraftandmore.com, please do. And if you have subscribed to my other channel, A Witch's Life, please just go ahead and subscribe to this channel now, okay? Thank you so much. Blessed be. Bye for now.